I am really excited to interview Leah about her experience of working with me as she's an ex-personal trainer. We're seeing a trend here because when I interviewed Afina, she's also an ex-personal trainer. And now she's a mama of two. And now her new career, which also Afina moved away from personal training too, and she is now a feminine embodiment and somatic coach, which is just incredible. And so Leah was a total delight to have doing my 10-day programs because she's got so much awareness of her body. So Leah, welcome. And thank you for letting me interview you about your experience of working with me. So first of all, just tell us, even though I gave a brief introduction, what do you do now, as well as being a mum?
Yes, hi. Well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to delve into this conversation because I had so many amazing shifts. And as you said, I have a background in personal training and health coaching. And yeah, it just was a beautiful reminder of standards and just like delving deeper into health. But we'll go there soon. So, yes, I work with women in business, feminine leaders. We delve deep into expansion and embodiments and really getting behind the business to the woman behind the business and really getting her body on board for what it is that she's wanting to create in her success, her wealth, and her business, and just really diving into kind of the somatics and the inner work of what that looks like in order to attain and hold the success that it is that she wants.
And Leah, what does somatic mean for other people that don't know that word?
Yes, yeah. So somatics is kind of getting out of the mind, out of all the narratives and the stories and the beliefs that are kind of going on in the mind behind the scenes, and getting into the body and tuning into the sensations and the emotions that are running the show. Because for a lot of people, not just women, we might have a truth or a belief or a narrative in our mind, but often our body holds a different story. And it's a subconscious story that we're not even aware of. And when we can get kind of the brain and the body working in sync together, that's when we kind of the leaps and the bounds and the quantum shifts that we're wanting or wanting to create and success in our business start to happen.
And Leah, your experience of the 10-day health immersion, what did you find show up? Obviously, we can talk about the physical and the benefits you got, but being in your body and going out of your mind, because obviously from personal training, health background, then a mum, you and like being a mum, you learn a lot of what you should be doing. And
Mhm.
so then what did you find show up in your body during the program? Like were there things that were there that you didn't think that were not in your head, but you experienced in your body?
So do you mean like more on a somatic level or do you mean like physical symptoms?
Both. Like, did you notice like where you wanted to go to your head, where it was like, oh, she's telling me to
Oh,
do
yeah.
this. That doesn't really make
Mhm.
sense in my mind with everything I know, but in my body, I'm feeling this good. Like, were there any of those things that showed up for you during the 10 days where you're like, oh, that's
Mhm.
interesting?
Mhm. I think for me, because I did have a little bit of like understanding and background prior, there were a lot of things that you spoke about that I was like, oh, that makes sense to the mind, or oh, I understand this. But I think what showed up for me, being a mama of two, and my little one Sol, he was about 7 months at the time, and I was heavily sleep deprived. Like little man does not sleep through the night. So what I did notice is my mind could keep me going, and I was like, I'm good, like I'm healthy, I've got energy. But when I delved into the health emergent and like I was a student that whatever Shelley said, I was like, yep, we're doing it. Like I'm going to listen. I'm going to follow all the guidance, all the support that's there. I could see the gap between, okay, like my mentality was strong. I can do the things, but my body was struggling probably more than what my mentality could realize. So especially like getting rid of coffee. Like I was like, oh, coffee's a ritual. Like I don't drink coffee for energy because I only have one coffee. But taking that away for the first few days, I was like, oof, like I am actually a little bit tired here. Um, even things like because Shelley also, you give us those practices to do to because we're testing our stress levels the whole time, right? So I was like, I'm not stressed, like I'm good. I work in my body, I do all these things. But just that reminder to like, oh, okay, like my stress levels are a little bit high at the moment. So, slowing down, doing some breathing exercises, something so simple as like 2 to 5 minutes. Then I would do my stress test again. And then I was like, oh, I'm in the green, so I'm good. So there was all those beautiful reminders, even for someone that's in my work and has this understanding of the body that even though we might feel good, sometimes it's the mentality pushing us through because we are a little bit exhausted. Those moments to pause and breathe and get into the body can rebalance things so fast.
Or even Leah, and I know this came up for you, like as a mom, a new mom, especially when you've got a child already, a toddler already, and well, a young girl and a baby, it's like it's normalized by society to go, oh, I'm sleep deprived, I'm going to be tired.
Mhm.
So even when we were talking before you doing it, and I'm like, that's actually not normal, Leah. Like, well, it's normal
Yeah.
because it's normalized by society, but we don't have to do mum life like that. So what did you find really helped, or what did you notice more energy during the 10-day health immersion with the tools that we gave you?
Yeah, I love that you said that because it is normalized. It's more like it's accepted.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I love that you brought that up. And that was something that you said to me that shifted because before I jumped in the 10-day health immersion, I remember saying to you, Shelley, oh, I want to wait till soul sleep is better. Like, I don't feel like I should be jumping in
You
at this time
did.
because I'm not going to get the best results. And you were like, this is the best time, Leah. And then when I was in it, I realized, like, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter what season we're in because you have so many tools to support us. Um, it was so beneficial because I was going through this rough patch with his sleeping and his, baby upgrades and teething and all the things. But then I had all these tools to support me through it. So I didn't have to feel like rubbish. I still got to feel like energized and healthy and, being able to get through my day and my business and all the things without being like, oh, like I'm tired.
And Leah, that is such a good point because so many people say to me, oh, I'll, like you did, I'll
Mhm.
do it when X, Y, and Z happens. I'll do it in the new year. I'll do it when, like, I'm not traveling. I'll do it when my child's older. So, what would you say to those people? What would be your advice? Because you were definitely somebody that was like, I'll do it when Soul's a bit older.
Yeah, I think my thought process in that was like, well, if I'm going to invest, I want to get like I want it to be the perfect situation so that these results are going to be so amazing. And then when you pitched it the other way, I was like, oh yeah, why do I have to survive this period and wait till everything's better to then feel good when actually I can feel good in this moment? So for anyone that's kind of in that boat, especially like my mamas that are just kind of getting through the days on minimum sleep, I would say do it now.
And,
Because just sorry.
oh, sorry, Leah, you keep going. Go.
I was just going to say, just like the switch in like the nutrition, and the supportive supplements that support our hormones and all the things, like it was only 10 days, but I noticed such a shift in my energy, like in my, I guess like my health markers, and symptoms and things as well. Like there was some amazing changes. So now that I've been on the other side of it, I would say do it now.
And
Because even
Leah,
though yeah.
everyone would say everyone that does it is always like I've had a client that waited 3 years and she was like, why did you
Mm.
waste 3 years of surviving? Because Leah, do you feel like even though you were in the trenches of sleep deprived and stuff, you got so much out of it to make it easier to deal with what you were going through?
Yes. And I think for me, because although I'm like, yes, embodiment and somatics and being in the body, I do also have the mind that I do love to nerd out and I do love the data. And sometimes as well as like, because I was beating myself up a little bit prior because I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like my health is suffering. Like this isn't up to my normal standard. And there were some positive things as well because there's so many testing skills that you give us. I was able to be like, oh, it's not as bad in some places as I thought. So that really was empowering and built my confidence as well. And then, yeah, it just made me want to keep going. So, yeah, I think there was positives on both sides of like, okay, supporting me when I'm in a really tough season of the trenches, but and also there's so much data as well that actually built my confidence that maybe it wasn't as bad as I was thinking it was. Yeah.
Which is also really empowering because then this is
Yes.
because we don't know what we don't know. And I remember when I was in the trenches like you are, Leah, with Harvey, and I was waking every like 45 minutes. And I also was like, because I knew too much in my head, and I was like, oh my gosh, my health's gonna be like my hormones are gonna be screwed, all the things. And so then when I started doing the stress test, and I was like, well, actually, I've got tools to get myself green. I've got tools to look
Hmm.
after myself in this season. My health does not need to like decline and deteriorate. We can actually be empowered. And then every time you do the health immersion, you take new tools because you come from a new level of health. So then you see it differently. So, Leah, with
Yeah.
two young children, working, tired, sleep deprived, was it too hard? Because so many people
No.
say it's going to be too hard.
It was so simple. And like your approach as well, because I think when a lot of people come into our health program, they think there's so many strict, rigid rules that just feels too overwhelming outside of their capacity. But you offer so much. Like you can either come into the program and follow it black and white to a T, but also you offer so much like movement that it does work with people's life. So I don't think it was too much. I don't think it was too overwhelming. Um, for me, it was easy. Like it was easy. It just
I
raised
find it
standards.
easy. It raises my standards and I
Yeah.
find it easy because it just streamlines life. Like we all
Yes.
get busy, even me, and I do it every round with clients. Every time I do it, I'm like, oh, great, a new health habit can come in. Oh, great, it's a good reminder of something that's fallen out because we're
Yes.
all busy. We need the reminders, we need the constant structure and structure while we can resist it. And you'd see this in your work. Actually, Leah, how does resistance show up in your body?
How does resistance show up in my body? Oh, that's a great question. For me, it's more I find myself I get a lot in the mind. So
Ooh,
when I'm
so out of your
overthinking
body.
or yeah, I come out of my body and then I feel like I'm circling in my mind a lot and then I'll avoid or I'll self-sabotage. So when I'm too heavy in here, I'm like, okay, I've come up here.
So having
That's
that
more me.
structured program, did that help you not get into your head? Because you,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't thrive in here. I find it very overwhelming. So the moment I'm in here, I know, okay, I'm either avoiding something or there's something here that's asking to be met. So having the 10-day health immersion, everything set out for me, and we had the Telegram chat, so it was so supportive. Like if I had a question, I could jump in, like you answer straight away, like you're in there all the time. So I never felt like I was left alone to figure it out. Like there was so much support. So for me, once I understood everything, I knew how to get about my day. I knew what to eat. And this is something I really want to, I think it's important to mention as well. It's not like a rigid diet protocol where it's like, like, and I think for a lot of women, they're wanting to break away from that. And it's definitely not a diet, a strict diet thing. It's like so like nutrient dense, like you actually get to eat so much. It's just a really quality food and you can feel it supporting your hormones. Like I'm going on a tangent here, but I want to say this. As I remember waking up one morning and I was like, oh, Shelley, I'm hot. Like, what is wrong with me? And you're like, that's your liver detoxing. So like even that in itself, I was like, oh, my liver's detoxing, my hormones are going to be supported. Like I can feel the physical shifts through my physical symptoms. So I knew my health was starting to rebalance.
and
Yeah.
Leah, you've hit the nail on the head. Even if you're not embodied and recognize your body at all, everyone will feel shifts in their body. And that's why
Mhm.
I called it, I have actually renamed it eventually. I've like had this program for 10 years, but I was like, the reason I called it an immersion is because it is a full body immersion. Like you will literally, like you did, whether you want to know about your body or not, you get forced to in this program because you will
Mm.
get hot sweats. You will feel more energy in your body. You will feel a calmer brain. You will get green on your stress test by like as a mum giving yourself 5 minutes. Like that blows
Yeah.
me away, Leah, your experience. But all mums are the same. They'll go looking and Leah, I think your experience of it's so beautiful because so many mums put so much pressure on themselves about we must do like a yoga and meditation and mindfulness and
Hmm.
all of these practices. And I'm holding like this because that's what I think of with yoga and meditation. But you, like, I remember Leah's takeaway where you spent like 2 minutes or 5 minutes and you're like, Shelley, I got green. I just gave
Hmm.
myself the gift of 5 minutes in the day when the kids were like distracted, asleep, all safe, all the things. And what a gift that was. Did that also boost your confidence, Leah, that
It was,
mum?
yeah.
Yeah, you tell me.
Yeah. I think it goes back to what I said before, as I think I had this big narrative in my head that my health was so shot. And there was probably a part of me that didn't want to see that. So coming into it and then having all these tools and having the data and doing the stress test and being like, oh, okay, it's not where it should be. And then gifting myself, like literally it could be 2 minutes or 5 minutes, legs up against the wall, or like deep belly breathing, and then taking the stress test again. And then I was green. I was like, oh my gosh, it actually gets to be that easy. And for my own peace of mind, because of my work as well, like it felt like it just was so empowering to know, one, how powerful the body is and how quickly we can shift where everything is at.
And two things before you go, Leah. One thing is for anyone that's worried about giving up coffee, is that actually compulsory or do I encourage you to do it for a different reason?
Oh, it's not compulsory. You definitely encourage it for a different reason. And that was just to see where our energy was at. Again, using me as an example, I'm like, I don't rely on coffee. I'm not a 3 time cup kind of gal. I have it in the morning as a ritual. But just removing that, I could see, oh, okay, where my energy was actually lacking and how I could support it. Because I think might have been like day 5, I remember messaging in the group and being like, oh my gosh, I woke up with all this energy. Soul didn't even sleep, but like I just feel like energized again. And I wasn't having coffee. I was just supporting my body with like the nutrients and the foods and the supplements that it needed. Yeah.
And Leah, that is the key thing there. It's not that I want to be mean and take coffee off everyone, and I think coffee's horrific. I don't believe any of that. But it's just so you get empowered. And because
Hmm.
literally, when we're relying on coffee, we're still relying on something outside of our body and something
Yes.
outside of us. If you, and it's
Hmm.
also a message. It's a silent message that our energy isn't where it needs to be. And so, as a practitioner, I've got clients like Leah telling me all day long that their energy is great. And I'm like, but what if we remove the coffee? Is it still great? Let's have an honest and it is
Yes.
just an honest conversation. Because once you take away the stimulus, we're both on the same page. Maybe your energy is great.
Hmm.
And Leah, I think you'll say this is true. I would have been open to you telling me that you really noticed no difference with no coffee. It was exactly the same. And then I would have been like, great, Leah, add it back in straight away. There's no issue. Coffee's fine. However, 98% of the clients, it's not like that. And the other thing, Leah, is what is your biggest takeaway or what is the biggest thing that you got out of the program, other than the awareness and the gift to yourself, but what was a shift in your body or a symptom that you experienced?
Mm. The biggest takeaway, I feel like there was so many. I think as a whole, because of my background prior, like years ago in personal training and, um, health coaching, for me, it was one, seeing where my standards had dropped and how much, I guess I had overcomplicated it. And then realizing like how simple it gets to fit into your life, how simple it is to um, get the nutrients it is that you need, like the greens it is that you need. And for me, it's actually really empowering. Like it set a new standard of like showing up for myself, like pouring into myself, my self-worth, like all those things. And then in terms of probably like internal shift, I think ever since I finished, I feel like I just have, and it's probably because I've kept what I've learned going in terms of like the food. I've just noticed a shift in my energy, to be honest, like just a shift in my energy. I don't feel like I'm dragging my feet throughout the day. I don't notice like a crash in the afternoons. Um, like my gut health feels really good. I feel like my hormones are rebalancing. Like as a mama who's still like, only 9 months postpartum now, I can see through symptoms that are showing that like my hormones are starting to get balanced again. So that's really empowering too. So yeah, that would probably be the two biggest things for me.
And one more thing that I'm going to share on your behalf because it's just come to me and I've remembered it and it's really cool because it was an afterthought for you too. Once Leah finished the program, I get this photo, a message from her being like, Shelley, and if we're looking at Leah right now, Leah is a little girl, like tall, but like little boned, little. You can see it on her shoulders. She's little. So Leah definitely did not do the program with
Oh,
nothing she shared with me was anything around postpartum weight loss. Like that was never Leah's goal. It was very much around energy and just showing up better because now she's got two young children. So that was always the intention. Yet I get this photo, I think either a day later or 2 days later in my DMs, being like, Shelley, I wasn't big to begin with. And look at me now. So what was that, Leah, in terms of just for you? What did you experience a couple of days later?
yeah. So I think that's really important. None of my goal was to lose weight because I am a small girl. And something that I actually want to talk about as well is postpartum. I actually found that I had lost weight. And for me, that was a sign that my health also wasn't good because I felt like I couldn't even hold weight. So I
Which
think that was
is
important.
true. It is a
Yeah, so yeah, that was a sign. I was like, well, something's not balanced here. Anyway, so after doing the 10-day immersion, I'd actually lost inches in my pants, and I don't know if that was weight or like fat or whatever that was, but it probably was a lot of bloat, a lot of inflammation. So yeah, I jumped on the road, I put on jeans, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't even trying for this, but look, so yeah, that was another side effect that I didn't know was going to happen.
And you're right, Leah. We don't know on the scales because I never asked you. That wasn't ever my intention in
Yeah,
terms of when you messaged me. I didn't even ask you. Like when you're saying that right now, I'm like, oh, we wouldn't know because we never
yeah.
checked. But what Leah has described is lack of inflammation, her
Hmm.
lymphatic system working better, and the fluid retention because we do so much work on liver and lymph. In the program, that is exactly what you experienced. So thank you so much, Leah, for sharing this with us. I was so excited to have you do the program and also feel better for your children and learn for yourself as
Hmm.
well. And also change some of those personal training things that we get ingrained with because we are the
Yes.
generation of the gym junkies where we got brought into society where you eat little and often and all those other things.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
that's the power of data and tracking and measurement. Whatever we've learned in society, and that's why I said introduce you as an ex-personal trainer, is because we have these mindset beliefs, we have these beliefs, and so the whole program is to challenge those and actually look at what is right for your body in this season now.
Yes, absolutely. And one thing I want to say as well, I think it's really important for my mamas out there. Like it feels really empowering to be the example of nourishing ourselves and prioritizing ourselves. And our little kids are like witnessing us do that. And that was really important for me as well. So yeah, I thought that was really important to mention.
Thank you so much, Leah, for sharing your experience. Thank you.
Thank you.